Thank you, everyone, for coming today. As Community College of Philadelphia's Vice President of Workforce and Economic Innovation, it's my pleasure to discuss the important role small businesses play in the city and our neighborhoods. Community College of Philadelphia shares Mayor Jim Kenney's vision for a neighborhood-centric approach to economic inclusion and change. In Pennsylvania, small businesses created 39,131 net new jobs in 2011. The biggest gain was in the smallest firm size category of 1 to 4 employees. Pennsylvania's small businesses are key to the Commonwealth and Philadelphia's well-being. They support our neighborhoods in so many ways. Today, we are here to support their future success. It is my great pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Donald Guy Generals, the President of Community College of Philadelphia.
Good morning, and thank you all for coming out. This is really a special occasion for us, being able to partner with the City Council and the Mayor's office to bring to the city an opportunity for those in the neighborhoods who are looking for a leg up, looking for a pathway forward. In many neighborhoods, small businesses offer so much more than goods and services. We all can remember or tell stories of being in the barbershops or the salons and getting, some life lessons from those who are in the neighborhood and concerned about the neighborhoods and providing for the neighborhoods. So this is our opportunity to try to scale up and to expand those businesses so that they can better contribute to the lifeblood of the city. Commercial corridors can foster safety and security in the forms of well-lit, heavily traveled streets. They can foster a sense of trust and friendship by providing places to catch up in the latest neighborhood news and activities. Moreover, they offer conveniences and vital services that lessen the hardship for families working too many jobs to be able to live a really, really good life. We are here today to announce a program to help small business owners who too often are overlooked in the economic development strategies that we provide. I'm speaking of the neighborhood daycare centers, the corner groceries, the bodegas, the laundromats, the hair salons, and the barbershops, the small clothing stores, and we actually have at least one of our small business owners here today who I'm sure will get an opportunity to speak with you. Like their larger peers, the owners of these businesses face pressing challenges including staff training, development, marketing, strategic planning, tax laws and strategies, and more. As the city's college, we are so pleased that Mayor Jim Kenney and Philadelphia City Council are making it possible for us to launch an initiative next year that is designed to grow these small businesses block by block. The program, called Power Up Your Business, really nice title, right? Power Up Your Business, is a neighborhood-centered approach to economic development, and it begins in January 2017. Power Up Your Business will offer free training, business development workshops, and useful tools and advice to the existing and aspiring small business owners that currently are powering inner-city neighborhoods. Moreover, the workshops will be available at convenient times and locations so they can take full advantage even with their hectic schedules. The college has one very simple goal: make every neighborhood the best it can be by helping every business to prosper and support their neighborhoods. A newly released report by the nonprofit Initiative for Competitive Inner City has demonstrated that with support of these small businesses, we can have a significant impact on unemployment in the communities that they serve. So on behalf of the college, I want to again thank Mayor Kenney and the City Council members for providing the funds to launch Power Up Your Business, and I want to give a special heartfelt thanks to Councilwoman Cherelle Parker, who championed this economic development approach and has worked so hard on behalf of these small businesses. Can we give the City Council and especially a real shout out to Councilwoman Cherelle Parker. So it is with great pleasure to introduce you the tireless work of our Mayor, Jim Kenney, who is a tireless champion for the neighborhoods in our city. Mr. Mayor.
Drop my eyes. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for the introduction. I want to thank Council President Clark for our continued partnership and all the members of council that are here today, and especially Councilwoman Cherelle Parker. Obviously, this team is continuing to work together for the betterment of the city, and this particular area is very, very important. As mayor, one of our major goals is to ensure that our city is a growing business center. And that is dependent on the success of businesses of all sizes in all neighborhoods. Our administration is especially committed to ensuring that our neighborhood businesses get to be part of the commercial renaissance happening in Philadelphia. We have seen great growth in Center City and the surrounding areas, and we want all of our neighborhoods to experience that opportunity. The Planning Commission estimates that there are about 265 commercial corridors throughout the city. It's obvious that these corridors are an essential part of the fabric of Philadelphia. And I want to applaud Councilwoman Parker for her vision to create the Power Up Your Business program in response to some of the concerns raised during budget discussions. And I also applaud our Community College of Philadelphia for its know-how and ability to execute these initiatives. In addition to the important tools being provided by Power Up Your Business, small business owners should also remember to take advantage of the resources available to them through the city's Department of Commerce and Harold Epps, our terrific Commerce Director, sitting here up front. At the end of the day, stronger businesses mean more jobs and better neighborhoods for all Philadelphia, and I think we can all get behind that. And as we know, for people who have lived in the city our entire lives, as the neighborhood business corridor goes, so goes the neighborhood. When the neighborhood business corridor is strong, housing values are strong. When the neighborhood business corridor is strong, it's safer. There are more people working. There's more of a community feel in the neighborhood. And when the business corridor, as I've seen growing up in South Philly, when the South 7th Street business corridor began to collapse, the residents around, the residential homes around it lost value. It became less safe. People were less engaged in the community, and it really is clear that neighborhood business corridors matter, and strong ones make our neighborhoods better, and it continues the theme of making sure that all folks in our city have the opportunity to meet their potential from birth to when they pass, and all the space in between. So I want to thank everybody that's here today for their participation and for their teamwork. It's a great feeling to be mayor with this council at this particular time. And I don't know who I'm introducing next. Oh, okay, good. It wasn't in my script.
Thank you, Mayor Kenney. Without the support of City Council, Community College of Philadelphia would not be in a position to be a provider of workforce solutions. I'd like to thank members of council who are alongside of us here today and who are champions of the college and the city's small businesses. Council President Darrell Clark, Councilman Derek Green, Councilman Bill Greenlee, Councilman Curtis Jones, Councilwoman Cherelle Parker, Councilman Alan Dom, and Councilman Al Tobenberger. Thank you so much. Oh, and Councilman David O. Thank you for joining us, and all the members of City Council who support us in so many different ways, and they will be so instrumental to this program as well. At this time, we will hear from Councilwoman Cherelle Parker, who has been a champion of this program and a staunch supporter of the college. Thank you.
And all members of council come up and stand with us. We're going to hear from our council president, Darrell Clark, first. I thought you
Always in charge. I'm sorry, you all don't see what happens behind the closed doors. Thank you all very much. This is extremely exciting to be here today for a number of reasons. One, our great, as I call it, the go-to college, community college, continues to be the college that we all look to when we have some issues that don't necessarily fit a niche of one of the quote-unquote larger universities, but the simple reality is that community college is our college, and it's a college that we look to when we want to come up with some very specific programs. And I want to thank, as was referenced earlier, this theme, we keep hearing it, the block by block. Mayor, you're hearing now we're using the block by block for the commercial card. It was used in the election. Your election was used in Dwight Evans' election. Now we're using the commercial card, and I love it. And I want to thank our friends and colleagues. This team here that the councilwoman has put together for today's event is clearly the team that makes it happen on the fourth floor. Now I want to talk about this lady right here next to me. You know, that's just showing her leadership skills by telling everybody to come up here and stand up here and directing where everybody should go. So when the councilwoman came here as a state representative, you know, they called her a freshman, but she wasn't really a freshman. I mean, the simple reality is that she had years and years of government experience in the state, but also here as a council member. And she immediately understood it's all about the money. So as this idea formulated, she understood that the way to insert that process was in the budget. And she, with a laser focus, talked about this during the budget process. Hey, Councilwoman, how you doing? During the budget process to make sure that this was inserted, enshrined in the budget process. So, Councilwoman, I want to say a feather in your hat in your first budget process came to fruition in terms of making sure that we got this in place. And this is going to be an awesome program. So I want to personally congratulate you in terms of your skill set as it relates to getting things in the budget. So with that, I want to thank everybody, thank all the colleagues, thank the community college, the mayor, and all of the people that work behind the scenes to make sure that this very, very important initiative, in fact, continues to grow, because everybody understands, every analysis done, that the simple reality is most jobs are created by small businesses, without a doubt. Yes. But I got to say one thing, I know I'm talking, but this lady with this good wrench shirt on, Dale Earnhardt. You just happen to wear that, or because I'm into cars and stuff? You like Dale Earnhardt?
You can ride over to my district and go to the shop.
Okay, I'm going to take my car to your shop, right? All right. Thank you. And Councilman Squilla and Councilwoman Keona Sanchez have joined us. Thank you all so much, and all of you guys, great, awesome stuff. Councilwoman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Let me again say good morning to each of you, and I need to start by giving a hearty special thanks to our Mayor, Jim Kenney, and our City Council President, Darrell Clark. Nothing can get accomplished in this great city if we don't have an executive and a legislative branch that can come together and share good ideas and find a way to embrace them and own them, and in partnership with an institution like CCP. So I want to thank Mayor Kenney, because they're very gracious in saying Cherelle, but the fact of the matter is, if the two big guys don't agree, nothing gets done. And I'm real clear about the pecking order of things, so give them a round of applause. Let me also thank Dr. Generals and his CCP team, where the chief CCP soldier, Lynette Brown, who bosses us all around and tells us everything needs to be done through CCP. Lynette, thank you so much for your work. Carl, you've been around here. Carl and Wayne, who I met through the 10,000 Small Business Program. Thank you for their hard work in building on this vision and for demonstrating CCP's capacity to administer this program to benefit neighborhoods across the city. I want to say thank you. I also want to thank my colleagues who are here, because each and every one of them in their own right has advocated for small business growth and development on neighborhood commercial corridors across the city of Philadelphia. And again, this could not be done without them, so I want you to give them a round of applause. Let me just for the sake of background, I just quickly want to say that during the budget process, when we were debating the sweetened beverage tax, we had a lot of people described how the tax would negatively impact business owners, and particularly small corner store-based neighborhood grocers. And while I've long been a supporter of small neighborhood-based businesses, there was one issue in that argument that alarmed me, that we were talking about in many instances low-income communities, but we were talking about those residents simply from the perspective of consumption. Consumption was driving the argument, and to me, not enough was talked about ownership. And with that in mind, we were able to come together to work on developing this program. We're going to hear from Wayne Williams, who's going to talk about the details, but it's a two-tier program. One tier is a 10-week module based on a program where business owners can go to regional campuses and get the tools to succeed. And the second tier is a series of free workshops that will be hosted throughout the city for business owners who may not have time to dedicate to the 10-week course. And with that in mind, while I appreciate all of my colleagues who are here, we're going to hear from Councilman Curtis Jones, whose background is based in the improving neighborhood-based commercial corridors. Councilman Councilman Alan Dime, who knows a thing about what it takes to run a successful business, and Councilman Greenlee, who too has had a special connection to supporting neighborhood commercial corridors. So we'll hear from our colleagues in that order.
Another round of applause for the freshman who is not new, Cherelle Parker, who very passionately in the budget process recognized that. As a former CEO of the Philadelphia Commercial Development Corporation, as a former director of the Minority Business Enterprise Council, I have an affinity for small businesses. And to put it in context, I was sitting in a social club. It's exclusive. Its membership is finite. It's called a barbershop. And we were sitting there, and the gentleman in the next chair was excited about the upcoming holiday, not because he owned a business, but because he worked for a small business. And his perspective on the world, whether it was Donald Trump or whoever, he was happy because he could do something for his family. And that puts things in perspective. This is not a Democratic issue. It is not a Republican issue. We all agree on the vitality of commercial corridors. And this partnership that my colleague put together is instrumental in creating bottoms-up growth, not trickle-down, but bottoms-up growth. And it is the glue for neighborhoods. All you have to do is walk down a neighborhood, and if you look at the businesses that are surviving there, it tells a lot about the viability of that neighborhood. When we ran PCDC, if you went up Passyunk Avenue, you know that jewelry shops and things are there. If you go up other corridors and they're only on Market Street, secondhand thrift shops, you can tell something different. I have 9 commercial corridors in my district, and my colleagues probably share an equal amount. We can tell what's going on by those corridors. So this initiative today is a good first start, and if we add that to some of the procurement opportunities that are presenting themselves with the mayor's partnership, if you add that with some sensible regulations that the mayor insists upon commerce, we can have a city that speaks volumes for the neighborhoods that those businesses reside in. And I'm excited about this cooperation between the 4th, 2nd floor, and CCP. My only criticism is there's no CCP in the 4th district, and we're going to work on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Jones, and to my colleague, Councilwoman Parker, who I sit next to at City Council. Not only is she a great person to sit next to, but this is a great thing you're doing here today, so congratulations. Very good. And to the Mayor and Council President Clark and my colleagues, this is just another tool in what I would call our kit to help businesses in Philadelphia. I know I think it's PIDC, has that Goldman Sachs jobs program down at the Navy Yard. That's a great program. And by the way, the business is the cornerstone of Philadelphia in many ways. I am a small business person. I come out of that background in the real estate and restaurant business. But I will say that it's important to understand in these corridors, as Councilman Jones said and Councilwoman Parker, a strong corridor correlates, and so the mayor said this also, correlates to strong real estate values, less crime, better security. And interestingly, in Center City last year, 1 out of 4 leases were restaurants. 1 out of 4. So what does that tell us? A lot of people are buying on the internet. It also tells us that in these corridors, we have to be careful as to what companies we put into these corridors that will be successful, and we have to help nurture them. But I would say this, every successful corridor needs restaurants, needs coffee shops, because you cannot eat over the internet. Thank you.
I like that line. You can't eat on the internet. I'll remember that one. I'll go steal that sometime. First, I want to join with everyone else in just thanking Councilwoman Parker for a strong leadership on this issue. I've spoken about it many times, and I think it has really hit home how important it is. And just very quickly, I'm a councilman at large, so I see the effect all over the city. But very near home to me, I've seen the effect of a strong neighborhood corridor that kind of went down and now it's coming back. Council President knows this real well, West Girard Avenue. When I was growing up, you basically didn't have to leave the neighborhood. You could get just about everything on West Girard Avenue. Unfortunately, times changed for a while. It went down, and not coincidentally, the neighborhood around it had its issues. Now Girard Avenue, and it's taking time, but I think, Council President, it's really going in the right direction. A lot of things are happening. The Council President has been very instrumental in that. And I see, again, as the mayor said, as the corridor has improved, so has the surrounding neighborhood. The real estate values. I don't know, Alan, if you're selling anything in that area, but it's doing very well. So I think that's just a great illustration of how neighborhood corridors mean to the whole area and actually to the whole city. So again, Councilwoman, thank you for your leadership, and I'm happy to work together with you on this. Thank you very much.
I just want to also thank Councilman Mark Squilla and Councilwoman Maria Quinona Sanchez for their continued support of the college. I know that they joined us a little bit after I gave official thanks to all the council members, so I wanted to point that out. And actually, the councilwoman was the person who suggested our next speaker, who is serving on the Power Up Your Business Advisory Committee, and who is the owner of Mars Auto Center, who the council president pointed out her Dale Earnhardt shirt. But she's also president of the Hunting Park Business Association. So I'd like to introduce Monica Parilla.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Monica Parilla, and I am the owner of Mars Auto Central in the Hunting Park Business Corridor. This program, Power Up, is essential for small businesses like mine. There are workshops and seminars and grants that are for businesses with large-scale revenue streams, where our small business like mine are excluded because we don't reach that benchmark. Small businesses have the power to keep the local economy moving, and we have the power to provide jobs in our area, and we have the capability to create a significant amount of revenue. One of the issues I see in thousands of our small local businesses is that the business owners have all that power, but don't know how to reciprocate that in financial statements, which would enable us to improve and have room for growth, which is what we desperately need. The workshops that Power Up offer will provide pivotal information for that growth to be possible. I'm so grateful to be a part of this initiative and cannot wait to see the long-term effect that it'll have on our small businesses for our future generations also. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. And I should also thank all of the members who are serving on the Power Up Your Business Advisory Committee. I see Beth McConnell in the front row from the Philadelphia Association of Community Development Corporations, Marla Hamilton from PIDC, Natalie Jackson from the Commerce Department, Solomon Leach from Councilwoman Cherelle Parker's office, Victoria Tyson, who's a owner of Victoria's Kitchen and also a 10 KSB graduate of the program, and Della Clark, who is the president and CEO of the Enterprise Center. So I'd like to thank those members of the advisory committee because they've already provided a lot of valuable feedback in shaping the program. I also want to thank members of my own staff who've contributed and put a lot of heart and energy into the creation of this program. Chris Hess, Ayanna Washington, and also Wayne Williams, who unfortunately couldn't be here today with us, but he heads up he's the Education Services Director for the 10,000 Small Business Program, which is the curriculum program that we run at the Community College of Philadelphia as well. And finally, I just want to acknowledge the many members and partners and community business leaders who have pledged to work with us to help make our neighborhoods the best they can be. That includes the Philadelphia Industrial Development Corporation, my former colleagues, the Commerce Department, and I saw the Director of Commerce, Harold Epps, the African American Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce, and the Greater Philadelphia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and so many more who are going to be pivotal to making this a success. As was pointed out, this is a bottom-up strategy, and I also want to point out the regional directors for the community college. Anthony Driggers is here from the Northwest Regional Center, which is where this will start, and then we'll rotate around to all of the different centers that we have in main campus. So this really is something where we're trying to take this out into the neighborhoods and make our small businesses as successful as they can be block by block. So thank you everyone for coming out today, and I look forward to a great start of this program. Thank you.